Today we're taking a look at Rogue Heroes Runes of Tasos. We're playing co-op version, so we're playing 4 players. I'm playing actually with my kids. Basically the gist of the game is you pick your character or your icon, pick your character, and then you get to play the game. It's very much like Zelda Link to the Past or the Super Nintendo era of, and Game Boy era, I guess, of Zelda games, and it's actually been a pretty good game. So you pick your character, you watch the story which unfolds, which we'll zip through here. And then you play a quick tutorial. If you've never played it before, it takes you about 3 minutes and it gives you everything you need to know how to play the game. And then you're into the adventure. So the adventure is very much reminiscent of Super Nintendo era Zelda games, and it plays very well with 4 players. In this playthrough, we're playing with Xbox 360 controllers. We're playing with 4 of them, and the gameplay is very smooth. We never really had any problems. It also scales very well in terms of the screen size when you're trying to play. So what you do is you find these ruins and you go in to explore them, and this is the main kind of part of the game. You're trying to take on the Titans, and so we basically explore these dungeons and collect crystals or gems to pay for upgrades of our characters and pay for upgrades in the town, which we'll see in a little bit. But every time you enter one of these dungeons, you have to give up all of the crystals you're carrying. So the format of these dungeons is there's 3 floors, with the 3rd floor having a boss in the bottom. So basically you're exploring Zelda style, room to room. The map actually is very similar to those Zelda era games. You fight enemies, you have health and magic, and then you also can carry different items. The one thing I really enjoyed about this game compared to, say, Minecraft Dungeons or playing Diablo 3 on any kind of console is people aren't forever in their menus. The way the controls are set up, there's such a way that you don't have to basically go into menus and pause the game for everybody else. Like, it's pretty much non-stop action short of you pausing the game, and which makes the game pretty good. So as you go through, one of the things you'll find is you'll buy upgrades or buy things like this where stairs down to the 2nd floor. The buy system is set up pretty well in terms of playing co-op, where you can each chip in a fixed amount. So it makes it fair for everybody, and it works really, really well. And same thing here too. You don't have to go to a separate menu or anything to do that. It just lets you go ahead and do that. And so this game also has puzzles. Like, some of these puzzles are simple, like this one here where you have to move a guy around basically to the glowing magic spot to unlock the puzzle of this room. And there are quite a variety of puzzles like this where either you're moving blocks or standing on things. There's also traps, like say this room here, where you have to navigate spikes. So there is some variety. Like, we did run into some duplicates here and there through our playthrough. Like, we played about 4 hours, and there was the odd room that we found that was a duplicate of others. But for the most part, the dungeons vary every time, because what happens in this game, you play until you die, respawn, buy upgrades, and then play through again. So much like a roguelike game, you can also use these altars to revive your teammates. Basically, you grab their skulls and put them on the altar, and that revives them as well. The other thing that I really enjoyed about this game is the game adjusts according to whether or not people die. If you notice over in the right there, a new block showed up so that one person can complete this room. So basically you just push a block onto the switch there, and you can play even if you're dead. So what happens when your whole team dies is you die, you get to keep basically all of the crystals or gems you find in the dungeon, and you can take that back into town and use it to buy upgrades, to buy new buildings in town, etc. So it's much like a roguelike where you progress as far as you can, you upgrade your stats, you get stronger, and then you go back in and try and complete the dungeon. So in this respect, it's good in terms of repetition, and it's good in terms of building new characters. So you just respawn, you pick your character class just as you wake up, and then you're back in the game. So one of the main things you do here in the game is build new buildings that give you access to new classes, gives you access to stats, upgrades, gives you access to items, gives you access to many other things that'll help you to better your characters for the next run. Much like in the dungeon there, this has the same buy-in system where everybody can chip in for upgrades, which I find really intuitive, and it works very well. So basically, here's a building being built or an upgrade being built in town, and you'll do this throughout the game. So in these buildings, you'll do things such as change your hero class, get upgrades to magic damage, mana, health, that kind of thing. And you'll do this every time you run through. You'll basically buy upgrades, go to the dungeon, die, buy upgrades, go to the dungeon, die. It's repetitive, but it works. It works kind of in that roguelike style gameplay. So as you get towards the end of the dungeon, you will get into your room where there's the dungeon key or the key to the boss room. So like in this room, as an example, this is one of those rooms. But the trick is, since it is co-op, some of these puzzles you have to do with your friend's help. So, you know, maybe one person's running through the thing to get the key, but another person's flicking a switch so that other characters can make it through. Like if you notice, somebody there is hitting the pink switch so that player 2 can get up and get the boss key. So it encourages teamwork, and then you end up in boss battles such as this one. So this is the first boss where it requires you to work together. If you notice, one guy was behind the boss, which stunned. You attack him in the behind, and it stuns him so that you can attack him from the front. So basically, this game is it's the Legend of a Zelda style game where you work with your friends, and it plays very well. We had a really good time. We played about 4 hours. No real bugs or problems with the game. And certainly good value for your money, especially in the case of playing co-op. Like this is couch co-op, and you can buy it and play it with your kids. So if you played Rogue Heroes Runes of Tasos, leave your comments in the comment section below. I'd like to know what you thought of the game. We thought it went very well, and certainly a game we'll be playing again together as a family. So thank you for watching today. We will catch you in the next video.